Hey there, folks. It's me, Scat 100, and another year has come and gone. God, it feels just like a year ago when I did the last one of these. And realistically, without going through my videos that I remember, this is probably one of the... It's probably been a year since I've talked to you guys face to face, very directly. So, honestly, I don't know where to start with this. At least that's what I would say, except that I wrote myself a few notes this time around, just to keep me in check. So I guess what we could start with is that we're done. 2020 is done, and everybody watching this, we have somehow survived the year. And holy shit, was it a crazy year. I know I make little tidbits of information apparent throughout the streams, but it's been a crazy year both in terms of the channel and in terms of personal life. A couple of the highlights is that, the first couple of months, we were fine. January, February, everything was just as normal. I was still working at that point. I was still working at Ruby Tuesdays. And then the world got a grim reminder. Everything suddenly changed when March came around. It was the first weekend of March. Chris and I were gearing up for a stream, and there were talks about everything closing up and getting shut down or whatever else, but whatever. Chris and I were gearing up for Tokyo Mirage Test and stream, and the company had us on a group call. So I was like, okay, well, I'm part of the company, so I need to take this. So I was on Discord with Chris muted while I was on speakerphone with the company, and that's when we heard the news that we all had to file for unemployment and try to do it almost immediately. And everything, I felt like the world was spinning at that point. It was one of those things where you can't imagine what it's like to get laid off until you have it happen to you. And it was one of my worst nightmares, because even though I was struggling, I was still making just enough money a month to pay for rent and food and whatever else. And all of a sudden, that avenue was closed, and I didn't have any other avenue open. And so the next couple of weeks, weeks, I can't remember how long it took, was a blind panic, basically. That after we got off the call, I was too in shock to really do anything, and so we did the Monster Hunter stream that night instead of the normal weekly stream, because I just couldn't process anything. And then it was a rush to try to get in the unemployment. I'm not patting myself on the back when I'm saying this, but I will have to. I would say, for the record, I would count myself lucky, because it was difficult, yeah, but my persistence actually got me through, and I was able to get unemployment relatively well. Unfortunately, not everybody did. And from then on, I was just living by the government's whims. That's a bad way to word it, but basically I was and still am living off unemployment at that point, because obviously everything was closed down at the time. And I couldn't find any more work, and then it started to get into a cycle, which I'm still stuck in, of just complacency. It's like, yeah, I know I should get back to work, everybody else is working, yada yada yada, but I'm living comfortably right now. Not perfectly, but comfortably. And it's one of those things where you just don't want to go back. And right now I'm just kind of stuck in limbo. You know, I've been putting out stuff here and there, but my application isn't exactly the most eye-popping. I really don't have much experience, and for some reason I just can't bring myself to lie on my application, so on my resume rather. So that's probably also kicked me in the pants a little bit. But you know, for those who don't know, I want to be an actor, and theaters are not projected to open again until summer of next year, so I really just have to hold out until then, and then begin bashing my head against the wall in another way. But at least it's for something I want to do. And that's pretty much 2020 in a nutshell. I know a lot of other things happen personally, but I'd like to say that somehow, I mean, we're still here, so we still made it work. I, again, was probably one of the luckier ones. Other people were not as fortunate. And I wish you all the best of luck, because, you know, we're hopefully seeing the light of the end at the end of the tunnel soon, but we also can't let our guard down. But the point of this video was not supposed to be political. It was just recapping my side of 2020. And I hope that we all will continue to push through and make the best out of the situation that we have right now. But you know, this is about the channel. This isn't about real life. You know, I would love to incorporate more commentary on real life within the stuff that I'm actually doing, but for some reason it's very hard for me to do that. Like, I will start to blinders focus on whatever game I'm saying, and whatever else I want to talk about is just kind of out the window. So, just forgive me for ranting on that. But, speaking of the channel, which is what this is all about, how did we do this year? Well, I looked it up, and we're going to take a look at it together. We're going to live through the memory of the channel this year. That was not as fluid as I was hoping it would be, but it's okay. So, in terms of channel analytics, we got 16,000 views on the channel this year, which in my head is a lot. I know, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not a lot, but I appreciate it anyway, even if probably half those views are just from PJ rewatching our stuff over and over again. Watch time, 3.4 thousand hours? Oh, okay, that's a lot of watch time. And we overall, you know, we had some ups and downs this year, but we overall gained 5 new subscribers, and I thank each and every one of you, new and old, for sticking with me through all this. In terms of the top videos for this year, obviously these two, probably because of the title alone, you sick fucks. You didn't even watch all through it. Shame on you. Yeah, Blaze Blue was a big part of this year in terms of videos, so obviously the Blaze Blue stuff is at the top, and yet the Overseer project, which is from 2017. Oh, wait a minute. Wow. Okay, it wasn't even a Blaze Blue video from this year. That's the top. Okay, and yet the Overseer project is still there. So overall, not too bad. We have all these other numbers, and thank you, Motorcycle or Fancy Car, for making your way into here. Really appreciate it. You know, got a lot of impressions to click, a lot of views, as said before. There's all these other numbers, but I just wanted to see the overall stuff. Engagement. again, key moments for this, for whatever reason. And in terms of our audience, 47.3 of you are not subscribed. Come on, you know better than that. And yeah, this makes sense. This split ratio. Obviously a lot from the US. No subtitles because unfortunately I do not do subtitles on my videos. I just don't have enough time to do that right now. So that's the general engagement. But that's all nerd stuff. Reaching into the past, we got one for videos and one for streams. Obviously, streams were a bigger part of the channel this year as I started to transition my style of video making. Just because streams allowed me to get a lot more out. It allowed me to see a lot more. It allowed me to interact with you guys. And, you know, my motivation for video editing has never been the best, so that was another way to subvert it. But, no. Oh, hold on. Let me get to January. So, we ended off... Oh, hey. Hey, there it is. A lot happened this year. In terms of videos, we finished up the Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass series that I was doing, which again was just more of a personal project than anything else. I just wanted to finish it and get it off my plate. There was Persona 4 with PJ, regular Persona 4, which we finished our personal quest there. A lot of Zelda, a lot of Persona. We finished up A Hat in Time with Chris. And then Dual Destiny started and stopped and started again. Same thing with Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma. Yeah, these two video series were stop and start thing. As we finished up Persona 4 and I finished up Persona 4. We reached the Yuki goal. We got a lot of Chrono... Actually, I was very consistent on Chrono Phantasma, wasn't I? Then the bonus stuff started for Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright, which also came to a stop. But it's fine. Persona 4, more Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright bonus stuff. The Yuki goal, so that was the soft finale for Persona 4 regular. And behind the scenes, we tried to start Golden, but my computer wasn't able to handle it at that point. That is still a project that is working behind the scenes. We got more Blaze Blue, Chrono Phantasma. Wow. Okay, I did a lot more episode stuff with Phoenix Wright than I thought. There was more Phoenix Wright. A lot more Phoenix Wright. Yeah, a lot of this year was Blaze Blue and Phoenix Wright. And then this stupid thing which tied to the streams, which again, as I said, were the majority of the channel this year. The stupid Djibouti thing and the helicoptering 89. This is now the title screen for the BRB screen for Chris and my streams, just because it's kind of our little pet project. A lot more Blaze Blue, and we finished up Blaze Blue in an entire year. We finished up one Blaze Blue game, 56 episodes in. And I mean, Chrono Phantasma was a good game, and then, you know, I had my casual stuff, and the Sigrun fight was just a little fun thing that I was very proud of. Considering I don't usually do challenging stuff, but I guess I guess that's changed a little bit over the year. In terms of streams, we had So I had the 2 demos while I was cooling off from the last stream series. So it was the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon for Switch demo and the Octopath Traveler demo, both of which I want to do at some point. Unfortunately, Mystery Dungeon I cannot touch, and Octopath I cannot buy right now. I dragged Chris through the Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE game. All the while, again, another demo, which was the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo, which, ironically enough, I just started... I just started playing again. I finished it, but now I'm doing the stuff on hard mode to unlock that additional stuff. Here was that fateful day. Breakdowns ahoy. March 17th was the day that I was officially laid off from my job and decided not to go back because it was actually horrible. Speaking of Mystery Dungeon, we tried to reboot the Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky series, which we never finished, and still haven't finished to this day. That's still an ongoing project with all of us. And then Persona 5 Royal. So there was Persona 4, which we soft finished, and then Persona 5 Royal and Persona 3, which was finished as a stream series by yours truly. And Persona 5 Royal was a really fun game. I know I griped and groaned about it, which I mean, I do it anyway. Anybody who's been on this channel for 5 seconds knows about that already. But, you know, it was a really fun game, and eventually I am planning on doing a New Game Plus playthrough. I just need to figure out Twitch stuff, which I've been saying for a long time, but then I've recently come across another hurdle, which I have to figure out. So 5 Royal, back when I was streaming like every day, which was not healthy at all. More Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Yeah, no, okay, I didn't kill myself that much. Excuse me. And then after Persona 5 Royal was done, I made the mistake of going through Fire Emblem Warriors like I usually do games, and I absolutely hated it. And Chris and I talked at length about it, and it was definitely a mistake to go through just blind in solo. Not blind, and just go through like a story game and solo, because it was bound to fail. So unfortunately, that was a mistake on my part that I will just have to live with. And then I knocked out Sonic Forces because it was an in-between game. It was a cooldown game. It was still horrible. And then here's Persona 3 FES, which I played on my totally legit PS system. Persona 3 FES is, it was a game. It was definitely a game. If they made a remake, I might consider doing it again, but they would have to make some severe quality of life changes before that can happen. And that's when Xenoblade Chronicles X came out. It's not X. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which was a fantastic game, but it was definitely one of those games where I could not have streamed it all the way, and I knew that from the beginning. And that actually reminds me, you know, off camera in my free time, after finishing Definitive Edition, I actually played X again, and my god, was that ending disappointing. And unfortunately, it stays that way because they had no intention to make a remake or a sequel. They just kind of left it at a dead end. We rebooted the Walking Dead series because it was out on Switch, and the Switch could actually handle it. That was cool. And that's when I came around. And also Pillars. I and Pillars came out on the same week. Obviously, we're still doing Pillars. Pillars is a long ass game, but it's been enjoyable. But I was also like a really fun game, which again Chris had to twist my arm a bit to play. Actually, no, that's not true. That was not the game Chris had to twist my arm about. I was a game that I was actually interested in, and I saw it was really cool, and Chris played it. Chris was guessing about it, so obviously it wound up being a stream series, and it was really, really fun. There were some really stupid moments, but I would have to say, I love Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is a great game. Once again, I am planning on doing a new game plus playthrough of it at some point. Just, situations have not been kind about that. I love Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I love it to death. It will always be one of my favorite games. But, playing with Chris kind of made me realize a lot of the unnecessary quirks about it. I would have to put as one of my top favorite stream series of this year. I was fantastic. It was fun. I enjoyed. I think I enjoyed myself like 99% of the entire stream series, which is very, very rare. Usually I'll find a lot more to complain about, and it would usually be like a 50-50 scenario. I was great, and I thank Chris for dragging me through that. Pillars again is going to drag us into next year, absolutely. July 7th we started, and we're still going on. It was around this time, late August, when I rebooted the Ace Attorney series, now as a stream format instead of a video series, which was honestly the better option, because I was able to get a lot more done. But I almost skipped something very, very important, which was the Fable 2 series. Like, I enjoyed a lot for the story and everything. Fable 2 I just enjoyed for its absolute stupidity. It was a great game to just sit back and enjoy and relax and have a cool down before the next really big series on the channel. And it was just mindless stupidity and mindless fun, and it was I mean, yeah, it's great. And as PJ said, we are going to be doing Fable 3 at some point. But we have some hurdles to go through before we do that. And then, late August, so, okay, to put it in perspective, July 7th was, early July was when we started I and Pillars. I am Pillars. In the time it has taken us to go through Pillars thus far, we've gotten through I with Chris. We've gotten through Fable 2 with the group. And then we started Horizon at late August. Horizon was a game that I was extremely unsure about. I wasn't, like, it was kind of a fuck it game, is the best way I would put it, in which I just we were done with I, and like, okay, what are we gonna do next? And I saw Horizon there. I just picked it up at some, I think it was on sale or something, and I was like, okay, fine, we'll do it. And Chris was just like, and I had my reservations. Chris like, give it a couple streams, see how you feel. If you don't feel it, then we can stop. I played it for a stream and I never looked back. And I said this at the end of the Horizon stream, like the finale. I started and never looked back. It was absolutely fantastic. But again, it was one of those situations where I needed Chris along with me just to keep me in check. These open world games are very finicky. Sometimes they just get too ridiculous with its side quests and unrelated content that you just kind of lose focus. Horizon was not one of them. Horizon kept its world building prevalent all the time through its side quests and whatever else. Through its side quests, you actually got to see more of the world, where if you just did the story, it would be a very narrow view. It was fantastic. I loved it. Again, more pillars, rebooted the Ace Attorney stuff, so that was going on. So it was pillars, it was Ace Attorney, and it was Horizon. All 3 different streams with 3 different sets of people. With the occasional Monster Hunter stream when we were just kind of screwing around. And that kept going up until, well, basically now. Those series went on for the good half a year before I finished up. What was I doing? I finished up Ace Attorney, and then that's when the Fire Emblem remake came out, and it was an experience. It was definitely a learning experience. I'm glad I did it. My impatience got the best of me, so I skipped to the end. But at least I could say I played it, and that was a neat experience. And then we get to this week. We are still going on Pillars. That's going to keep going. And Chris and I started off Hive Swap, which is going to take us into the new year as well. Now, that was a mouthful. And this was just the past year. The videos took this amount of time, and the streams took this amount of time. There was a lot stream-wise this year, and that's probably going to continue. I'm probably going to stick to the stream format as much as I can until, jobs get in the way, I'm going to have to flip back. Just because it's a lot more convenient for me, and a lot more efficient for me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the past. That is the past for personal life and for channel and everything that happened this year. I, once again, as I say at the end of every stream, I want to get my bearings together. I want to thank you guys, because some of this stuff wouldn't have been possible without your support. Now, obviously, I've always had a mindset where I'm just going to play a game on stream, on the channel, and just enjoy it and just experiencing it. If it's just me, it's just me. If it's with somebody else, it's with somebody else. If it's with the entire group, it's with the entire group. If the chat is fucking dead, empty, if the comment sections are empty, I don't care. Because I've gotten to a mindset, and this is another thing that clicked this year. And this was a result of the New Year's resolution that I made last year. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And if people don't like it, they don't have to watch it. And if you do like it, you watch it, and you do with that what you will. If you want to share that you enjoyed your experience, that's absolutely great. I love seeing the comments when they come. I respond to 99% of them, provided that they are contextual. If you're in the chat, and you're enjoying yourself, you come say hi. You come interact. That's great. As I keep saying it during the streams, the adventure is great on its own. But if you have more people with you, if you know that people are enjoying it, it makes the experience a lot better. Obviously, during the streams, I'm a little bit more relentless because I go into tunnel vision mode. So it's a really bad mindset that I do. So sometimes the chat is actually more distracting than helpful, and that has been reflected in my responses from time to time. And I do apologize for that. I am an emotionally charged person. if there is an inconvenience, it is going to blow up in my head. And unfortunately, if I have to talk, it's going to reflect in that as well. I do not mean to be an asshole. I do not mean to be a jerk. I do not mean to be spiteful. I really do not. And that's another thing that we have discussed off screen in our own time. I'm not going to get into it. And it's another thing that I'm going to be working on for next year. That is going to cover it for this video. I'm going to do the same thing that I did last year, where I'm going to make these two videos, the past, and this time it's going to be like the present / future, because I don't want things to get too clogged up, and I mean we've been running on for 31 minutes already, and I don't know how much of this stuff is going to get cut out, so it's the majority is probably going to be in there. And also, you know, if you don't want a whole reminder on the past of 2020, which I completely understand, nobody really wants to be reminded of the shit that happened this year, then, you know, then you can watch the other video. Or if you're interested in all I have to say, obviously the link is going to be in the description, or it's going to be in the end cards, or whatever the case is. So this is part 1 to the channel reflection, channel anniversary, New Year's reflection, New Year's Eve reflection, 2020 reflection, however I'm going to title it. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. This is part 1, and I will see you guys in part 2, where we discuss more present and future matters. I'll see you guys then.